Together, we are the Episcopal Church in Vermont, set on a majestic landscape where deep rivers cut the mountains into rich valleys. We come from villages, towns, and cities. We are all about industry, human industry. We come from many backgrounds, but we are united by one God, one purpose, and our Episcopal Church. We are 46 congregations that span all of Vermont. We worship, we commune, and we seek to be a church with a unique missional outreach. We are a part of the history of our state. Some of our buildings were built from the bones of the land around us, and today are preserved by communities of faith. We come to the help of our fellow Vermonters. Involved in our communities, we coordinate with others to care for our neighbors. We make our buildings places for others to come and use and meet, inviting our communities not just to share worship, but art and drama, community discussions, and festivals where all can celebrate. We have learned that God is not just in our place of worship, but also in the community around us. We wrestle with new concepts as we seek to recalculate our way and redefine who we are for today's world and for today's Vermont. You will find us walking this path together, embracing each opportunity to reach others with our message of forgiveness, healing, and wholeness to all who listen. We are the Episcopal Church in Vermont. Together, we are working for structural changes. We are partnering with Vermont Interfaith Action, a faith-based grassroots coalition of congregations that transforms ordinary people into empowered and engaged citizens. Our goal is to create the hope, power, knowledge, and political will needed to make compassion and social justice a reality for all Vermonters. We are speaking out on economic justice and income inequality. Did you know YouTube videos of June 20th's press conference with Bishop Ely, other religious leaders, and Bernie Sanders have been viewed over 600 times? We are partnering with Project Vision, law enforcement and public safety, community image building, housing revitalization, and substance abuse treatment. Together, we are outreached hands across the pond. We are supporting Kids for Peace and Peace Builders. Peace Builders leadership camps bring together 15 Jewish, Muslim, and Christian teenagers who have been chosen as a result of their capacity and potential as leaders. Each camp hosts 10 teenagers from Jerusalem and 5 from the United States. We are supporting Foundation Christosol, a faith-based human rights and community development organization with Anglican roots that works to strengthen the ability of the poor to act for justice and development as equal citizens in a democratic society. We are supporting Mothers Union of St. John's Episcopal Church in Akobo, South Sudan. The Grant Made to Christ Church Montpelier's Sudan Communion Prayer Group helped to buy a laptop computer, solar panel, and battery pack for videos. This equipment allows women to share videos on healthy practices in childbirth and infant and child care. We are supporting International Rescue Committee. Grants were made through St. Barnabas, Norwich to support Syrian refugees within Syria and border cities in Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey. The IRC operates medical centers, schools, and other emergency programs. We are supporting the Kagando Foundation. Each Mother's Day, Zion Episcopal Church Manchester has a special offering for the foundation, a mission begun by Zion parishioners providing clean water to thousands in Africa. Together, we are drawing people together. We are hosting concerts inside and out. We are hosting art exhibitions. We are welcoming people to the Emmanuel Retreat Center and Stone Church Arts, workshops, and worship and concerts. We look forward to bishops' visits. We support Bishop Thomas Ely, 10th Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Vermont. Bishop Ely's responsibilities include oversight of 46 congregations throughout the state of Vermont. Bishop Ely works with a talented group of clergy and lay leaders to support our congregations and our many local and global ministries. We host community events and celebrations, bargain bin and peasant market, to Christmas bazaar and Norman's Attic, and parish picnics and pie sales. We support Rock Point, the Bishop Booth Conference Center, Rock Point School, Rock Point Summer Camp, public trails, and the diocesan office. To Did you know, in June and July alone, approximately 250 people obtained a day pass to enjoy the beauty and tranquility of the Rock Point property? We support the diocesan office and ministry support team. As historiographer and registrar, Elizabeth Allison researches and answers questions about the history of the diocese and the wider Episcopal Church, and creates and maintains databases. In addition, she is the author of 4 monographs: Toward an Understanding of Our Wentworth Legacy, A History of the Rock Point Property, To Have a Bishop of Our Own, and A Brief History of the Diocese of Vermont. As office assistant, Donna Crabtree works directly with the entire ministry support team. Donna acts as the building receptionist, assists Julie Giguere with paying bills, and performs other duties assigned from the office team. As financial administrator, Julie Giguere has been responsible for developing and maintaining systems to ensure the very best stewardship of our diocesan resources. Julie provides assistance to all our congregations in the areas of financial record-keeping, clergy compensation, benefits administration, and canonical reporting requirements. Julie works closely with the Financial Oversight and Audit Committee, the trustees of the Diocese Budget and Finance Committee, and the Rock Point Board. As assistant to the bishop, Susan Kramer began her work in February. She has been learning about the many committees the bishop is involved with, who's who in the diocese, proper protocol and procedures, organizing parish visitations and ordinations, and answering a myriad of emails and phone calls, especially these past 4 months while Bishop Ely has been on sabbatical. It's been a busy time, but she loves every minute she spends at the office and enjoys getting to know clergy and parishioners from around Vermont. As office administrator, Michelle Sandel is the office IT generalist and database coordinator. Michelle is redesigning the diocesan database, working to ensure systems are as efficient and user-friendly as possible, and that information is the same across several different access points. Michelle troubleshoots computer issues and is the resident office spreadsheet queen. The expertise, knowledge base, dedication, organization, patience, communication, and support of this team make the many ministries of the Episcopal Church in Vermont possible. Together, we're giving new looks to old spaces. We are partnering with the Preservation Trust of Vermont, a statewide non-profit organization whose mission is to help communities save and use historic places. The Preservation Trust held their first ever Hands on Hammers Volunteer Service Day at Christ Church Island Pond, helping to replace siding and complete exterior restoration. We are partnering with Partners for Sacred Places, a national non-sectarian non-profit organization whose mission is the support of older and historic sacred places by helping congregations and local communities sustain and actively use the structures. We are partnering with the Strategic Investment for Sacred Space program. Christ Church Montpelier's inclusion in this program was featured in the Episcopal Church Foundation's Vital Practices Vestry papers on leading change. We are partnering with Vermont Interfaith Power and Light and Efficiency Vermont. Vermont Interfaith Power and Light exists to serve Vermont faith communities in their efforts to address the climate crisis. Efficiency Vermont provides technical assistance and financial incentives to help reduce energy costs. We are creating new space, like a community garden and a radiant, heated public courtyard. Together, we are helping hands in our communities. We are offering community meals and lunch programs. We are offering a community supply closet. Did you know St. Mary's Northfield Living Supply Closet was started with a $1,500 McClure Fund matching grant? Monthly, the LSC feeds 30 neighbors and provides supplies to households of 38 adults and 20 children. We support Red Door Academy, responding to the needs of the community. St. Albans Red Door Academy is a licensed, learning-rich, Christian-oriented preschool for children 6 weeks to 6 years of age. We support local causes like Green Up Day, the COTS Walk, and the AIDS Walk for Life. We are partnering with the Episcopal Network for Stewardship, training, encouraging, nurturing, and supporting the Episcopal Church in the ministry of stewardship. Did you know the Alleluia Fund provided over $24,000 to outreach and social justice and global reconciliation in support of the Millennium Development Goals in 2013 and 2014? We support the Reverend Angela Emerson, Minister for Stewardship Development. Stewardship and development are about gratitude and responding to God's generosity with our own generosity towards God and especially towards God's people in need. Whether we are at home, at work, recreating, or meditating, all that we have and all that we are is offered to God. That is stewardship. Together, we are supporting each other in the call to serve. We are developing lay leadership through programs like Recalculating the Way, ministry fairs, and Living Stones. This year's ministry fairs encouraged us to go out and find God in the neighborhood. During workshops in Burlington and White River Junction, participants walked outside our church walls, observed and interacted, and then came back together to report on what God was up to all around us. We support the Reverend Susan Oladal, Canon for Ministry Development. Susan serves with congregational leaders as they discern and answer God's call to be the church now and in the future, to witness what is emerging, and to support both the mission and ministries of our church in Vermont and the wider Episcopal Church. Susan's work is to encourage and support a shared ministry for mission. You can find her riding the roads and the tech waves throughout all of Vermont and beyond. We are developing ordained leadership. The call to ordained ministry is heard in the community, and our Episcopal Church and Vermont communities of faith play a key role in discerning the will of God and identifying, guiding, and supporting those called to ordained ministry. We are supporting formation and learning. On Easter Sunday, 9 youth and 2 leaders from SPY, St. Paul's Youth Group, set out to Irvine, Kentucky to work in the parish of St. Timothy's. We are communicating with each other and the world around us. We support Kathleen Moore, Communications Minister. Kathleen is responsible for managing diocesan communications efforts, building an effective network of parish communicators, and serving as coach, trainer, and advocate for parish volunteers and staff responsible for communications. Kathleen manages the diocesan website, Facebook and Twitter pages, as well as the Mountain E-News. We are celebrating new ministry, including the ministry of the Very Reverend Jean Finan, Dean and Rector of the Cathedral Church of St. Paul. Did you know 44 congregations have been supported through transition and clergy leadership since Bishop Ely was consecrated? We support Lynn Bates, Canon to the Ordinary and Transition Minister. Lynn's days are full as she responds to questions and concerns from church leaders, connects with congregations seeking new clergy partnership, and clergy discerning a new ministry for themselves, provides oversight of diocesan administration, works closely with the diocesan council and other leadership bodies, oversees our Safe Church program, receives and responds to Title IV disciplinary matters, meets with clergy new to our diocese and those serving in interim positions, and provides coaching and facilitation in times of conflict. No 2 days are ever the same. Together, we are creating new liturgies. We support Pilgrimage for Earth, which addresses the fundamental question of how we can effectively act in the face of the destruction of our Earth in order to ensure a renewable, sustainable future which honors and upholds our sacred covenant with creation. Did you know during Pilgrimage for Earth, Bishop Ely presided at the Church of the Woods Eucharist in Canterbury, New Hampshire, and Bishop Hirschfeld presided at the Eucharist at Church of Our Savior in Killington, Vermont? We took part in Liturgy Lab. Last year's Stirrings of the Spirit Ministry Fair challenged participants, lay and ordained, to draw upon their own experiences of worship and our own rich tradition to create fresh expressions of common elements of corporate worship. We held a dinner church ordination, a table Eucharist and the ordination of a deacon, Susan Oladal. Did you know St. Johnsbury dinner church ordination was the first to be live tweeted by the bishop and was perhaps the first ever dinner church ordination? We're sharing in breakfast and dinner Eucharist. We're offering ashes to go. Taking worship to the streets, Ashes to Go is about bringing spirit, belief, and belonging out from behind church doors and into the places where we go every day. We are blessing the bikes, a special blessing to riders and their bikes for a safe riding season. We are finding God in the neighborhood. Inspired by Alan Roxburgh's book Missional, St. Mark's St. Luke's Fairhaven celebrated Rogation Sunday by going into the neighborhood. Together, we are doing much more than has been mentioned here. We are worshiping, serving, and spreading love. Together, we are all the Episcopal Church in Vermont.